Welcome to the webinar tonight. We're so glad you joined us. We were just getting set up for a minute there, so please be patient with us while we get everything together. We'll start in another minute or so. Hello, thanks for joining us. Great to see you here tonight. And I say see you in a virtual sense because we will not be able to see you, but we definitely will be keeping track of all the chats and all of the questions because we really want this to be interactive this evening. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, this webinar is Budgeting for Success. So we hope you're in the right place. And whether you're just starting out with budgets or you've been budgeting for years, we know that there's lots of tips and tricks we'll be able to share with you tonight to help you reach your financial goals. So we're so glad you're here to share this with us. My name is Kara Hauk, and I'm the Community Engagement Specialist with Patelco Credit Union. That means I work a lot with the community. As a credit union, we care about our community partners, and we partner with many nonprofits throughout the Bay Area and the Sacramento area and Northern California because we want to support the communities where our credit union is. And we feel like if we support our communities, we support our members, and we all win. So thank you for joining us. And if you're from one of our community partners, we're really happy that you're here today too, and our members. And if you're thinking about becoming a member, we're so glad that you're here tonight too. So at the end of the webinar, I always want to remind you, we will be telling you about other resources and our certified financial specialists that are always available to help you. So we'll encourage you to go to our website, and you can do that anytime and take advantage of some of our services there, even if you're not a member. I also like to remind you that this is your time. I see several people have already taken advantage of the chat. We want you to definitely ask questions, say hello, and we will address them throughout the presentation. So now I would like to introduce Veronica Dangerfield, our speaker this evening. She brings an engaging and thought-provoking enthusiasm to her webinars. She's a financial educator for Patelco Credit Union, an award-winning international speaker, a published poet, and a professional comedian. What you will remember most is how much fun you had learning, and you'll be armed with key takeaways that will shift your thinking and impact your financial life. So with that, I will turn it over to Veronica.
Hello, neighbors. How are you tonight? Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy life to come and concentrate and focus on your financial well-being. Yay. My name is Veronica Dangerfield, and my comedy line was, I was Rodney's only black child. I walked around with my own drum roll. But I have been privileged and honored to work for credit unions for 21 years. Yes, I know, I only look 32. I was a child prodigy. So, and I've been working for Patelco for 13 years. And recently, I just got promoted to Senior Financial Wellbeing Educator. And I like to tell myself that I was senior before they made me senior. So I'm honored to be here tonight. I hope that I can give you some tactics, and I want and give you some things to do, but mostly I want you to understand that you can be successful budgeting. Although at the beginning, it feels like it's a little arduous, at the end of the day, the financial knowledge and will increase your confidence, managing your behaviors and taking responsibility for the valuable dollars that come into your life will give you a quality life. And guess what, you guys? We work so hard. We deserve to have the best life ever. So can everybody see my PowerPoint? Perfect. So first of all, I wanted to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to budget. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why. You see, when we were primitive people and we were running around in the savannah, did we have to worry about saving money? We did not. We had to worry about survival. So I want you to know that budgeting and saving and working with your finance does not come natural to us. So acknowledging that, I wanted to go ahead and tell you what the wonderful Jim Rohn said. I was listening to his tape this morning. He said that the things that are easy to do to make you successful are also easy not to do. What is easy to do is also easy not to do. So it's very easy to mindlessly and unconsciously spend your money. But it's just as easy to control your expenses so that you can have a better quality life. You can have less stress around your money, and you can utilize every single dollar as a soldier working for your benefit. I used to say the power of the dollar in every hour always makes me want to holla. So it's going to be lighthearted. Hopefully it's going to be fun. You're going to have some tactics, but we're going to talk about having a strong, responsible, positive relationship with your money, honey. So, okay, it's hard to do, but just because it may be difficult doesn't mean that it is impossible. So I would like each one of you today to commit right now, after you finish this seminar, to working on your budget. All of us have problem areas with our money. All of us do, but it's not a time to be ashamed. It's time to look at the person in the mirror and use some of the tactics that I will be sharing with you today. So budgeting for success. Why budget, you guys? Why even bother? Budgeting for success means that you're going to prioritize your needs before the money is gone. Because most people don't pay enough attention to their money, and they run out of month by the end of the money. So it's the number one important thing you can do is manage your time and manage your money. So if you also make sure that you're anticipating future expenses and you're paying attention to the bottom line of your money, you will not have to borrow or use credit to make your ends meet. Again, I'm going to say that again. You don't have to borrow or use credit to make your ends meet. Once upon a time, I was on a budget and I thought I was hitting it at zero. But what happened was my credit cards increased. So we do not want to supplement our financial lives with credit. We want to use the money that we have to make sure that we're covering all of our expenses. We want to use a budget as a wealth building tool. What? We are going to use budget as a wealth building tool for you. So now you have seen Veronica Dangerfield's at Patelco's webinar, and you were excited because you started budgeting your money and you're living the life of your dreams, and you're getting ready to go on your fantastic trip to Hawaii with the family. And oh my gosh, the air conditioning unit went out of your house. You got a flat tire with your car, but you're undaunted. Why? Because you have a budget and you budgeted for future expenses. Why? Because you are bad and you handle your money. You're relaxed on the beach with your family, and even though you have a financial hiccup, it wasn't a financial tragedy. Financial hiccups does not have to be financial tragedies when you control your expenses. So we're talking about conscious spending, deliberate choices equals a beautiful life. So I work for a credit union, and I'm a part of the credit union mission. The credit union mission is important because we build your financial health and well-being throughout every stage of your life. We're serious about this. This is the core of our business. We want to teach you how to manage effectively. That's what budgeting is about, people. If you learn to budget effectively, guess what? You can have those day-to-day hiccups and you can be resilient. When when you have to get 4 new tires, you're resilient. When you have to fly across the country to visit a sick relative or take care of a child in college, you can continue to be resilient. And then what happens? Boom, you're able to seize opportunities. You're able to have a safe retirement, which means you can have time freedom early. You're able to have a business. You're able to support your children and your family and your community, and then you rise up. The credit union mission is very, very important. We're a not-for-profit financial institution, and our very being was created so that we can have great financial lives of everybody around us. If you are a member, know that you are important and you're valued. And if you're not a member, understand you are so welcome. You are so welcome. So, why do you want to budget, you guys? Why is the why so important? The why is the reason that's going to keep you motivated. The why is the GPS for your dreams. If you have a why that is big enough, you are not going to be overtaken or overrun by spontaneous emotional spending. Why? Because your why have to be big. Take some time and think about your why. What were you put on this planet to do? You were not put on this planet to worry about money. You were put on this planet to manifest your greatness, and your greatness needs the money. So know what your why is and let that why guide you to your best life. I love knowing what the why is. And let your why be built on values. What do you value? Integrity, family, courage, learning, balance, simplicity. All of these will motivate you to live your best life because it will reinforce the why. So, big journeys begin with small steps. You guys, this is an important tactic. You have to have a financial goal. You have to have 5 of them. You have to have a 5-year goal. You have to have a 10-year goal. You have to have a 15-year goal. Because if you do not have goals, you always end up supporting somebody else's dreams and not your own. So this is another tactic for you. And remember, perfectionism is the enemy of all progress. When you start your budget, don't aim for perfection. Aim for just doing it. And know that as you live, you're going to get better and better at it. Because we create what we pay attention to. What? We create what we pay attention to. There's everybody on this webinar tonight. Right now, you're already on your way to success. Why? Because you showed up for your financial life on a Wednesday night at 5:30. So bravo. So this is the beginning of your steps. So what are our learning objectives today? We're going to build a foundation by protecting your income and increasing your savings. We're going to take a deep dive into the budget categories. We're going to create a budget and we're going to plan for success, and we're going to address budgeting roadblocks. I also want to encourage you to not be in scarcity, but to be in abundance and prosperity, because it is done unto you according to your belief. What do you believe about what you can do financially in your life? And whatever it is, multiply it by 3. Because I believe in you and I believe you can achieve your dreams. So make sure that you believe that you can do it, that you have lofty, your 5-year goals, your 10-year goals, your 1-year goals are all worthy of what you can achieve. So this is a fundy. It's a fundamental. If you don't know this, you can't build a house, because this is the foundation of your budgeting house. Do you want to eliminate paycheck to paycheck? Do you? Do you? You should. In order to eliminate paycheck to paycheck, you got to pay yourself first. And what does that mean? You have an account that is not associated with your spending account, because you have an account for your expenses. It should be only for your expenses. If you try to save with your expense account, you will end up with a goose egg. 0. You have an account that's separate. You fund that every month, and that is the money that you pay yourself first. You pay yourself first before you pay your rent. You pay yourself first before you pay Metro, Getro, Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. You got to pay yourself first. Now, the amount you pay yourself, that's something you're going to determine, okay? But this is a fundamental. Pay yourself first. You save before you spend. Everybody say, I save before I spend. Fundamental financial concept. Pay yourself first. And then you need a fully funded emergency account. How many of you were challenged last year with the pandemic? Many, many people were. So a fully funded emergency account is going to cover at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So if you lose your job, your expenses are your rent, your utilities, your medical deductibles, and your groceries. The emergency fund is going to save your financial life. So, and I wanted to tell you the 7 most common emergencies are: 1, emergency room visit; 2, a broken down car; 3, an emergency for a pet care; 4, last minute travel; 5, a cracked tooth; 6, a burst pipe; or 7, job loss. Folks, you have to fund your emergency fund, and it has to be a financial priority. Your emergency fund is going to be a part of your budget, and it's going to be on the first line item. And it's on, my uncle used to tell us stories, and he used to say, what page is that on? And he would say, page 1. And your emergency fund is on what? Page 1. You deserve to have a financial life that is not stressful. And without an emergency fund, it is almost impossible. So you have to protect 2 things in your life. You have to protect your income, and you have to protect your property. What are the 2 things that you have to protect in your life? Your income and your property. So your income is through health and life insurance and homeowners insurance, because once you get kind of a sophisticated financial life, you won't be able to replace all the stuff that you have. So you have to have insurance against risk. And also, if you don't have homeowners insurance, renters insurance, and auto insurance. So you have to protect your income, and you have to protect your property. And retirement planning. Now, this is a topic that most people just feel bad about. No matter where you are in your financial life, you can still successfully fund your retirement. What did I say? No matter where you are in your financial life, you can still successfully retire with time freedom. I'm going to actually try to get another seminar on retirement planning, and we can talk exactly about how you do it. But I want you guys to remember that your financial journey should not be full of shame and embarrassment. All of us are doing the best we can with the awareness and the ability that we have in each moment. You are innocent. It's blameless. They don't teach us this in school, and finances are extremely, extremely sophisticated. So if you feel insufficient, get the information that you need so that you can make better decisions for yourself, because life is too short to feel bad, and especially about money. So we're going to start on our budgeting journey now. And a budget, like Dave Ramsey said, is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And it does about 4 things, you guys. The first thing it does, it increases conscious spending. When you join Weight Watchers, you have to put down everything that you eat, and it makes you increase the awareness of what's going on. And I got a Fitbit on, so it increases the awareness of my health, my blood pressure, and my movement. A budget increases conscious spending. And when you create what you pay attention to, you stop spending so much. It's like a minor miracle. The next thing it does, it improves your spending habits. It avoids debt and improves your credit score, because your credit score impacts your financial lives. And when you are budgeting for everything in your life, you don't have to rely on a credit card in order to pay. And finally, it supports your financial goals. It supports your financial goals. I've talked a little bit about that earlier. It's mucho importante for you to understand what your goals are, and that you have them and you have your budget support you. So I want to tell you guys, there are so many budgeting apps out there. There are so many budgeting templates out there. I am not married to this budgeting template, but I am dating it right now. Have you ever dated a template before? It takes a special person to do that. So I got this template from budgetingaresexy.com. And I got this one because it has the whole financial picture on there. So I am not endorsing this. I want you to go and find your own your own template or your own app. But I wanted to use this primarily as an example. Okay, we have sexy income. I actually tried to take the sexy off, but I wanted you guys to have some fun tonight, so I left the word in there. Sexy income. The first of the 15, do you get paid biweekly? Do you get paid monthly? And this is not your gross income. This is your net income. This is what's coming into the house. And then we have your net worth. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in the presentation. And I'm going to explain to you why it's important, why it's such an important visual. And then we have the savings funds here. You have savings 1, 2, and 3. I believe in having savings sub-accounts, because I think that you should have as many sub-accounts as you want. Why? Because life is unpredictable. My car has a savings account. My hair has a savings account. And I have an emergency savings account. I have a traveling savings account. There is no scarcity in savings accounts. And then we also have the credit cards here. And as you notice on the credit card, it has the billing dates and the amount due. It does not have on there what the balances are. So that gives you a snapshot of what your monthly payments are for your credit cards. And then it has budget for check 1 and budget for check 2. And then it has a third budget. What do you think that third budget is used for? That third budget is used for miscellaneous savings. Right now I'm budgeting for a new air conditioner. When it got 105 degrees, my conditioners hit the road jack. So sometimes you have to budget and for things that you know are going to come up. You know, we're going to talk a little bit more about the separate categories. Okay, so there's two sides of your networks, you guys. And if you haven't done your network, do it now. And if you have done your network, update it. So there's two sides of your network. Assets are what you own. They're your home, your investments, and all the money you have in your bank account. And then you have your liabilities, and your liabilities are what you owe. It's your mortgage, it's your miscellaneous loans, usually credit card loans, and it is your credit card debt. So when you do your network, you can track and you can see your assets going up, because an asset is something that grows in value over time. I'll tell you guys a little joke. When I talk to some of the classes, I actually sit in, I go to a chair and I look at my audience and I go, some people think assets are something that you sit in a chair. But no, asset is something that you can sit in a chair, but assets are something that you own that grow in value over time. So your net worth, okay, I wanted to give you guys an example, a working example of what your net worth is. And if you haven't noticed this by now, I am a creative. I'm not analytical, but I can be. So I made up all of these numbers to give you an example, okay? So we have the house that's worth $600,000, but then you can see that the difference is that it went up $50,000 this year. And so now we have the 550,000. And then everything is added up with the difference. But what I would do is I put in this month, and I wouldn't really worry about the difference because you can do this annually. This is going to be your 2021 net worth statement, but you're going to see it climb higher and higher. And then we have our liabilities. We've got our mortgages and the payments and how that's going down. We have our car loans, and we have our liability number 3. And the liability number 3 might be like a credit card payment. That could be a student loan. But the magic of looking at it takes the shadowiness out of it, and it becomes concrete and it becomes real. And then once you start experiencing success, oh my gosh, you're going to be so happy that you took these steps. So how much should you have saved by retirement? This is simply a formula. Now, I want you to know that I think this formula is a little bit aggressive, but what I wanted to use it as an example for is so that you can see what it should be, or what it could be, or what other people think it should be, and see how close you are from it or how far away you are from it. But this is just like a benchmark, okay? So then we have our monthly committed fixed expenses, okay? Our fixed costs are mortgages, your retirement savings, your emergency savings. As you remember, you guys, when I talked about you have to pay yourself first, remember I told you that? Guess what, on your fixed costs, what is it? Your savings are a part of your fixed cost. Your savings are a part of your fixed cost. And if you're not doing that, if you just did that one thing, you guys, it would change your financial reality and increase your financial well-being. Then we have transportation, we've got phone, cable, internet, utilities, and memberships. And then we have the variable costs, clothes, eating out, groceries, technology, entertainment, your daily spending habits, your gas, and your personal care. So this is just your fixed cost. Now, can you decrease your fixed costs? You can. You can. Maybe not your mortgage, but you can decrease your cable and your internet. You can increase your utilities. I have something to tell you guys. I turned off the sprinklers in my house, and my water bill went down 50%. That's amazing. So when my water went down 50%, what did I do with that money? So when you save money, you guys, you have to have it earmarked to go somewhere else. I guarantee you 90% of the people that I have, when they have less money, they absorb it into their everyday costs. But I don't want you guys to do that. I want, when you save money on your utilities, when you save money on your clothing bills, you have that earmarked to your financial independence account. You have that earmarked to your vacation account. You have that earmarked for your sabbatical freedom account. So, but when you budget and you're under budget, make sure that you take that money and you make that money meaningful. You put the power in those dollars by making sure that they're working as soldiers to make sure that you have the best financial health ever. So now I want to talk about your income. When you do your budget, again, we're going to talk about all the income that you get. Some of you have side gigs. Some of you got money from taxes. Some of you guys get money for your birthday. Money is fungible. And fungible means that every dollar is created equal. What, Ms. Dangerfield? What you say? Every dollar is created equally. Whether you get that money from your grandmama for your birthday, whether you get that money from taxes, whether you get money from payroll, it all spends the same. Money is equal opportunity and it's all green. Make sure that you're accounting for all your money, okay? So you got your income, and that is your net income. That's the amount that you bring home. Including your bonuses, including any other income that you get from a side gig. Because if you don't count it, you guys, the money disappears. Money is a narcissist. It wants you to look at it all the time, to think about it all the time. Because the more you look at it, think about it, and plan for it, the better it does for you. I was listening to this guy from You Need a Budget. I think his name is Jesse Meekum, and he said he actually started the budgeting apps, and he stopped doing it for 1 year because he thought it was on an automatic pilot, and he lost a ton of money. So as I always say, we create what we pay attention to. The more we learn, the more we earn. Where energy goes, energy flows, and all that fabulous stuff. So we want you to track your savings, track your due dates on your credit card, and track your upcoming expenses. So now I have a question for you. You had an expense that came up that you did not plan for. What do you do? It's not in your budget because all of a sudden something comes up and you did not plan for it. We're going to talk about exactly what you're going to do and where you're going to put that money. So now I wanted to talk about the challenge of spending. You have your wants and you have your needs. You've got your basic necessities, food, clothing, water, medicine, and then you have the other stuff. The new car. I had a new car once and will never do it again. Don't buy something that's going to be a decreasing asset. You lose 25 to 35% just driving it off the lot. And then when you increase your consciousness about spending out, eating out, you plan it, you enjoy it more. And when you do it seldomly, you enjoy it more, you know? And I am not a fancy dresser. I am a Target dresser, and I am a Target traveler. I don't have to go high end. I don't have to go low end, but I gotta be on an airplane because that is the reason why I work now. I don't work to have fancy clothes. And I do work right now for old lady Dangerfield. You know her? In 10 years from now, she's going to be an international bag lady. And when she departs the planet, she is going to be doing the limbo in Jamaica, pushing her walker. She's going to pass out, okay? That is how I want to leave the planet. I'm going to have enough money to give to my kids. I'm going to have enough money to support my community. So these are the budget killers. Did you guys ever watch that movie Nemo? He says, oh, the shark was a fish killer. These are the budget killers. You guys can save 35% by going into the grocery store and making sure that you have a list. Clothes. Have you guys ever seen those frugal people? There's like the minimalist. I was watching a video the other day, and this woman survived on 33 pieces of clothing. And nobody ever knew that she was wearing the same clothes over and over again. Now, I'm not suggesting you do that, but I'm just suggesting that there's options. And also with shopping, we're conscious of the universe, we're conscious of the environment, we're conscious of how our choices affect the world, the animals and the ocean. I have a daughter who will not buy fast fashion because of what it's doing to the environment. So making a conscious choice about that. Travel, I always pay for my travel before I get on the plane. I do not come home to travel bills. I budget for my travel. And entertainment, this is a suggestion and a tactic. Write down 10 things you can do without spending any money. And when you get ready to spend money, go to one of those lists. Check off one of those free things, take that money and put it into your financial freedom account. The other one I want to talk about, frenemies. You know the ones. You know the ones. Oh yeah, let's go out to dinner and let's split the bill. And they get cocktails, a dinner, appetizer, and dessert. And you have water and some soup. You know the ones. Watch out for the people that you hang out with because they affect your financial life and your financial well-being, right? I'm not telling you who to pick with your friends. I'm just telling you if they're affecting your budget, you must think twice. Okay, so then this is remember I told you I'm making up a budget again? So I wanted to just show you exactly what this budget would look like. She's got her mortgage, she's got her PG&E, she has a pool, she's got an internet, she's got her groceries and she's got her yard, she's got her fund money in there, and she has her medical. And what happens is there's a budget, what you budget for, and then the actual. So there's a little leeway. So as you can see that she had $533 worth of medical expenses this month that she did not budget for. So this has the first check and the second check. Why? You get to look at your money. You get to see what's going on. You know what I mean? You're not comatose. You're not subconscious. You are awake and aware and following what your money's doing. And you're not letting anything else determine your financial success. You are in the GPS. You are the GPS of your finance. And you have a great car, but you are driving it yourself. Okay? So this is just an example of what that would look like. So we talked about this. Now this is a review. Steps to preparing a budget. First, you estimate your income. And what did I say? All your income. Step 2, you plan your savings. Didn't the savings come before the expenses? Absolutamente. If you're not doing this, you can do that now and vastly improve your financial life. And good for you. You deserve it. Good for you. And you can also balance your budget. So how to track your income and expenses. We talked a little bit about what the budgeting is, but there's other ways, you guys. You can use paper, you can do electronically, you can do the digital budgeting options. And if that works for you, just do it. Spreadsheets, the Google, the Excel, and this I'm telling you, you're gonna speed date budgeting apps. You're gonna speed date templates. It don't have to be love at first sight, but you can't give up because the perfect financial relationship is waiting for you. It's gonna give you a big hug. Did I say big hug? Pretty silly today. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna track your monthly progress. You're gonna address your plan as necessary. And then I love the suggestion, you guys. I love LOVE, this suggestion. Be accountable with someone other than yourself. I did not know this about myself, but I am fiercely competitive. So if you came up to me and said, let's have a budget race, I'm telling you, I will not spend anything. Because what? I want to beat you. And it's also being accountable. It makes it fun. You guys can gamify budgeting. That is such a great idea. You budgetify. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. And of course, celebrate every goal that you make. I think that we as people do not celebrate ourselves enough. I have one friend, her name is Leslie. She celebrates everything that I do. Every time I meet something, she calls me up and insists on celebrating. I have a daughter-in-law, she does the same thing. So celebrate your successes, you guys. Life could be long and hard sometimes. And money is simple, but it's not easy. But just because it's not easy, that doesn't mean it's worth it. And remember what Jim Rohn says. Jim Rohn says it is easy, but it's also easy not to do. So your committed, periodic, predictable intervals. Your auto insurance, your home insurance. Did you know if your auto and your home insurance, if you finance it, they charge you extra money if you have to do it monthly? So maybe when you do your budgeting, you have your auto and your homeowner's bucket, and you can start saving for that. There's gifts, DMV, auto repairs, vacations, and emergencies. And guess what? How many times have I said this? Repetition is the key. Savings is your what? Number one expense. So remember earlier when I talked about the unexpected expenses that you had. You know, you didn't know it. It came up and you didn't, and it's not a lot of money, but you haven't budgeted. What are you going to do? So you're going to have a sinking fund. You're going to have an emergency fund, and your emergency fund is going to be for your unexpected expenses that's going to cover your living expenses. Your sinking fund is infrequent but planned expenses and unplanned expenses. So your sinking fund will have maybe your car, what is it called? Your annual renewal on your car. It's going to have your homeowner's insurance, but it's also going to have an extra $100 or $150 in there as a cushion. And you're going to have your emergency fund, which is secret, sacred fund. You're not going to have a debit card with it. You're going to put it in a bank or credit union that you cannot have access to. And if you get the debit card, you're going to put it, you're going to freeze it and have to defrost it, because that's the money that you want to set it and forget it. Your sinking fund is going to be for those surprises. Okay, so you got your emergency fund, you got your sinking fund, you got your budget, you're funding them all, and you're going to do it automatically. You're going to set it and forget it. If you set it on automatic, you're going to be more successful. Why? Because you don't have to think about it all the time. But you are going to set a date to check on it. But if you set it and make it automatic, it makes it easier. So now we're going to have some sample budgets. This is the one that Elizabeth Warren, who is a senator she's a U.S. senator, and she also is in charge of the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. She advocates the 50-30-20 budget, and I think Oprah Winfrey does too. So 50% on your needs, 30% on your wants, and 20% on your savings. But the goal was to be, I think, for any of these to eventually get to 30% of your savings and less wants. That's me personally, because like I said, old lady Dangerfield, I have 3 children. They're gonna have to play, where in the world is mom? Oh, I thought she was in Jamaica. Oh no, she's in China. But really, I'm gonna be in the Mediterranean. So that's why I would like to increase that. And then I wanted to show you another budget. This is the 70% rule based on your monthly take-home pay. The 70% is 70% on expenses, 20% on debt and savings, and 10% tithing and investment. Now, living in the Bay Area, you're not going to be able to save and do 20% debt, because this is a very high cost of living area. But like I said, I wanted to show you different examples so that you know, so that you don't become scarce around thinking that there's only one right way to do it, and so that you can feel abundant in choices, because there's only 2 problems with money. One is a lack of income, and 2 is having a spending problem. Which one do you think is easier to solve for? The spending problem is easier to solve for. But a budget also supports both of them. Why? Because it brings conscious, deliberate, focused attention on unconscious behaviors so that you can make sure that you're going to hit your goals. Absolutely. So now in the anti-budget, I am a spender. How many spenders in the house? Don't feel like the Lone Ranger. My name is Tonto. Lots of spenders in the house. The anti-budget is you save essentially for everything that you need right off the top and then spend the rest. This is definitely 30% of your money goes into your 401k, your Roth savings, your emergency account, your sinking fund. You do all of that, make sure that you do, and then you can just budget and spend to zero. Now, the anti-budget does have perimeters. So what you want to do is, if you have the anti-budget, what you want to do is increase your savings and still be conscious of the things that you are having. I did the anti-budget a lot when I first started budgeting. Why? Because I'm a spender. But if I have all the money, boom, go here, boom, go there, boom, there, boom, there, whatever's left is mine to spend. And it was a guilt-free, but then I got better and higher goals. And my goal right now, again, you guys remember, financial freedom, time freedom, not necessarily retirement, because a woman like me, I have so much to give. Why would I stop working? Besides, I would miss you. Anyway, that's the next one. So then if you're living on a reduced income, I wanted to just go through this real quickly. Just determine if the situation is permanent or temporary. Develop that budget and prioritize your expenses. Budgeting allows you to prioritize your expenses so that you can meet unanticipated expenses that bounce up and hit you in the head. Okay? Recognize that you are not your salary. You are not your income. You are not your credit score. You are a phenomenal, amazing, unique person that was made to divinely do what only you can do. Absolutamente. You have to understand that. And last thing is ask for help. Here at Patelco, we have certified financial specialists, trained you guys for free, waiting for you to ask for support. I had a birthday, and on my birthday, I put on Facebook that the thing that I've learned, my biggest lesson on living this life, is that we're here to support and help each other. Ask for help. Nobody should be alone with their finances. And we have certified financial specialists that are waiting for you. They were trained to do this, and it's free. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. Make sure that you take advantage of the resources that are given to you. And when you take advantage of the resources, I tell you, you feel a lot better and you do a lot better. So there's so many tips on doing budgeting. There's so many templates. There's so many ways to do this, but you have to focus on your money, because when you do, you have more of it. You create what you pay attention to. You have more fun when you do spend your money, because it's a conscientious and deliberate choice, because you're controlling your expenses. You're going to have a happy, healthy, fun life. Now, watch out for the triggers that affect your figures. Know your whys. This is a review. Identify your triggers. Learn how to budget. You guys, I do 2 webinars a month. 5:30 Wednesday night. This bat time, this bat channel. And since I'm prone to spontaneous behavior, even I don't know what I'm going to say. So come back and get more knowledge. Come back to get more wisdom. Come back to get more love around money. I think that money is a positive, fun experience. But most people thinks money is singing the blues. But it doesn't have to be that way. But it is done unto you according to your belief. So come back and hear us again. Lack insufficient income, I'm telling you, if you lack insufficient income, there's so many ways to get more money. If you lack insufficient income, you look around your house and there's stuff sitting there that you are not using that you can sell. Google how to make $1,000 in 30 days. Google how to make $500 in 30 days. Sign up for all the money podcasts. Sign up for all the budgeting podcasts, and you will change your financial future. Because I'm like that guy from the jewelry commercial. No, the hair commercial. Not only am I a owner, I'm a customer. I pay attention to my finances because I honor myself. And when you honor yourself, you make sure that you save. Fluctuating income, know your baseline, calculate your monthly expenses, make adjustments, live on last month's income, and pay yourself a salary. So you guys, tomorrow is yesterday is not born again, and tomorrow is an unborn child. What we have right now is the magnificent present. Right now, you have the power to change your trajectory of your financial life, even if it's a little curve. But start today. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. You will never change your life until you change something that you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. Please start your budget. If you need support, come to Mama. You can go to my financial journey. Actually, it's financialjourney@patelco.org. If you go to Financial Journey, you can get a certified financial specialist. And we're going to love you whether you're a member or not. And we're going to support you to live the best financial life. Why? Because that is why we are here on this planet. And if you want to read stuff, you can go to Balance Pro, and it has all the financial stuff that you want. You can go to patelco.org, and you can also go to our Facebook page, and you can find me there. So what I'm going to do now, I have talked and talked. We're going to have an opportunity to have some questions. Lovely Kara, is there any questions from our members?
You did a great job answering all the questions. We just have one. Somebody wants to know if you recommend any specific financial podcasts.
I love Afford Anything by Paula Pant. I love Marketplace because it talks about money. I love the Money Guys on YouTube. I love Doe Roller. He writes for the Wall Street Journal. I love the FIRE groups on Facebook. So you can't go wrong with any of that. But you guys, I wanted to thank everybody for coming tonight. And I wanted to give you my vast appreciation for you being here. And I wish you a happy, successful, and fun financial life. I'm Veronica Dangerfield, and I think you guys are awesome. We'll talk to you soon. It's going to be recorded, and we're going to send the recording, Diane, to you so that if you wanted to review all of the topics that I discussed, you may absolutely do that. All right. Thank you, Carol, for coming. You're awesome. Thank you, Brenda. Ellen, hi. Thank you for coming. We'll see you guys. Sherry, bye. Oh, the gift cards, Kara, we're giving out gift cards.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we randomly pick people who have attended the webinar tonight, and we will be sending those in the mail. It just makes it a lot easier than taking care of it right now. So you should be getting it in the next week to 10 days if you are chosen. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Bye.